Now we're going to set up our inputs and outputs for our components, but first we're going to get some mock data so we have something to work with. You'll find in the course files a file called mock-data.ts that looks something like this, and this is just a mock search results response from the Movie Data API for the search result of Toy Story. We're going to go ahead and save that inside our app folder so we can go ahead and access it throughout our application until we connect to the Movie API. So now let's go ahead and start in our search component, and we're going to go ahead and import that data. And we're also going to import our movie interface. And we're going to go down here into our search component, and we're going to create a variable called search results, which is going to be of type movie array, and that's going to be equal to the data that we got. Now let's go to our search component.html, and we're going to change our movie previews to be movie previews from our search results. So we're going to use our ng-for directive, and we're going to say let movie of search results. And then we're also going to get an index. So we're going to say let I equal index, which is something that is passed back from the ng-for directive as well. And if we go back to our application, you'll see that there are some results here, but they don't have all the stuff that we need from our movies. So let's go ahead and pass in a property called movie, and that's going to be each of the movies from our ng-for, so movie, just like that. And now we're going to go ahead and head on over to the movie-preview.component, and we're going to import the input, and we're also going to import our movie interface. And this is going to take an input of movie as we saw, so we're just going to do this and call it movie of type movie, and it's going to be equal to nothing at the beginning. Then we're going to go to our template file for this, so movie preview.html. And we're going to change our movie title to use the movie title from our movie object, and also the release date. So if we save that and go back to our application, you'll see that we now have Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4, and all those things that we had before in our mock-data.ts file. Awesome. Next, we're going to go to our app.component.ts file, and we're going to take out this variable. We don't need that anymore. But we do need to get some mock data, so we're going to get some mock data here. And we're going to create a variable called current movie, and that's going to be of type movie, so let's go ahead and import that at the top. And we're going to make that equal to the first thing in our data array. Perfect. So now let's go to the app.component.html file. And we're going to go ahead and put it inside of our display movie. So we're going to say movie as a property and give it current movie. Now let's go ahead and head over to display movie component.ts, and we're going to import the input from Angular Core as well as the movie interface. And then down here, we're going to have an input called movie of type movie, and it's going to be equal to, we don't have to make it equal to anything. And now if we go to our HTML file for that, we're going to take out this and make it our overview. So from the movie, we're going to say movie.overview. Then right here, we're going to make it our release date. And then right here, we're going to make it our title. All right, and if we save that, So if we go back to the application, you'll see that now we have our nice display right here that displays our Toy Story synapses. All right, so one more thing we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and add the image on the right. So we're going to make a div with the class of column.m5, and inside there we're going to have an image, and that image is going to have a class of movie poster and also fade in left. And we're going to create a function called getPosterURL for the source, and we're going to pass it the movie.poster URL, and we're going to make this a property binding for Angular. And then right here for our alt text, we're also going to do the same thing, except this is going to be the title. All right, so now let's go back to our displayMovie.component.ts and create that function getPosterURL. It's going to have a variable called path of type string. And for right now, we're just going to return a poster for Iron Man. So here we go. And it looks like I need a class of row around this. So let's go to our app component.html file. And we're going to give this a class of row. And we're also going to give our search movie a class of row. And if we go back, we should see it looking pretty darn good.